Essentials of good report. It is basically 5 main points. First one is clarity. It should have a clear in writing. Clear in writing. When it wants to question, one does not really find out what one wants to say until writing is completed, revised, or rewritten. The second point is writing correctly. Many people believe that they can write with a reasonable degree of correct without knowing of grammar. It obviously leaves a poor opinion about research and his work. Third important essentials are style to the reader's taste. Suppose your audience may be a pure layman or your fellow scientist. The researcher must be able to differentiate the needs and taste of different sections. Accordingly, tailor your presentation. The fourth point is readability. What is readability? Does it mean clarity and coherence? Christine Browning found absence of jargon. The first point is absence of jargon. Ma'am, what is it? Jargon. It's a difficult word. It takes no little time to understand. So, absence of jargon, never having to read twice. Sometimes, if we don't understand the concept, we read twice and thrice. But your research report may not lead readers to read twice. So, never having to read twice is the second. Consistent terminology, short paragraph, short sentence, continuity, clarity. It all comes under readability. I'll once again repeat readability. It is given by Christine Browning. Absence of jargon, never having to read twice, short paragraph, short sentence, continuity and clarity. The last important one is effective arrangement. A poorly constructed sentence can be repeated by a literary editor. A technically inaccurate sentence can be corrected by a technical editor. But a poorly organized report is beyond help. A real problem is to decide where to begin and what to say next. So, as a researcher, we have to follow rules. The chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 should be in an organized way. We should not make no mixed of chapter 3 in first and fourth like that. So it must be organized one, properly arranged report. So these are the basic essentials. Dear student, I hope you all understand the basic 5 essentials. It must have clarity. You must write basic grammar. Style to the reader's taste means accordingly you have to present your report based on your readers. Readability, never having to read twice. Absence of jargons. And effective arrangement means properly organized report. These are the basic 5 points comes under essentials. Now the next slide is about types of report. Basically, in types of report, people will say, ma'am, only there are 2 types, oral report and written report. This is a commonly used. Oral report means in seminars, in conference, we are presenting paper, no? It all comes under oral report. But people who want to use it later, they will not have any record. But in a report require quality, great deal of effort. It comes to question of writing. There arises difficulty of language and words. But in a research report, commonly used 3 types: popular report, report for the administrator, technical report. The popular report meant to be read by general public for the layman understanding purpose. The popular report. I'll give an example. The budget, once the budget proposed by our finance minister, the next day all the newspaper highlighting the headlines, no? That is the best example of layman interested. Which product price increase? Which product the price is less? For layman understanding, it is given in the front page. It is for the best example of popular report. So every researcher should prepare a popular report for the understanding of the people in the society. The second one is report for the administrator. Many business report are this type. They may be submitted to any level. Supervisor submitting reports to the general manager. A top level manager is preparing a report for taxation. All the examples are comes under report for the administrator. It is meant for business report. It is meant for specific purpose. Let me give an example how the production manager. Say example, production manager is asked to report causes for declining capacity utilization. Okay, if the production manager provide a brief account of each of the factors with adequate detail instead of simply noting them down in a paragraph, he has to present in sufficient detail during past few months, if possible few years, when and how the power failed. It allowed the management to take a firm and long-term decision regarding power supply. So report for the administrator help the top management to take firm and long-term decision. So it is used for the business people. It is meant for specific purpose. And the third one is technical report. It is written by an expert, read by another expert. The best example we can say that business line newspaper, all business magazines, journals, all are the example of technical report. A small recap, popular report for layman understanding. Interesting, the report is presented. Newspaper headlines. But once the next day of budget, the newspaper presenting about public interest product. What are the products? Price increase and price decreases. It is the best example of popular report. Report for the administrator, the business magazines, the business. All business people are using second one. Third one is written by an expert, read by another expert. Let's see, have you understand types of report properly? The next slide is about you have to find out which type of report it belongs. Now, dear students, you try to find out layman interested what is going to happen to their standard of living in this year budget. What is it? Types of report? Yes, you are all correct. It is a popular report. The Hindu newspaper is an example of, yes, popular report. Production manager writing report to general manager? Yes, it is used for business class. Report for the administrator. Harvard Business Review example of? Try to find out. Yes, you are all clear. It's a technical report. It is written by an expert, read by another expert. Yes, types of report and its illustration is over. Now, we'll move on stages of report writing. Broadly, the stages are three types. Three major stages in writing report: organization of report, writing up of report, documentation. Organization of the report, it's quite big. It involves preliminaries, essential constituents and additional constituents. Ma'am, what is the essential, ma'am? In your report, research report, your title page, your table of content and your acknowledgement, these are very, very important, no? So it is called as a essential constituents. And the additional constituents is frontispiece, dedication or epigraph, list of table, list of abbreviation and symbol. Ma'am, what is the frontispiece, ma'am? That is similar to your title page. You are keeping inside for binding. No, that page is called frontispiece. Dedication. If a researcher wants to dedicate a research whom the author wishes to remember, so you can dedicate I dedicate my research to someone, you can mention in front. It is a dedication. Epigraph. Epigraph. Epigraph means I would like to quote some word from some book, some celebrated author. So some words I have taken from celebrated author. It is called epigraph. It all comes under additional constituents. List of tables, list of abbreviations and symbol. Now, what is the difference between abbreviation and symbol, ma'am? Abbreviations means if I am using a word RBI, IDBI, I have to mention Reserve Bank of India or Industry Development Bank of India in the in initial stages itself. So this is all abbreviation. Symbols means sometimes I use the word dollar symbol for sample units. If I am using many symbols, I have to mention symbol and its meaning. And the next one is text. This is the basic body of the research. It includes your introduction, your research methodology, finding, conclusions, suggestions, everything. It's actual, the research content comes under text. End matter means there are some questionnaire you will attach, no? Finally, the end of the research report, you will attach some questionnaire or schedules, no? It is called appendices. If you are attaching balance sheet or history of an entrepreneur or some statistical data, these are called appendices. See, I'll repeat again. Appendix means history of entrepreneur or statistical data. Appendices means questionnaire or schedule. Okay. Now, glossary, it's unfamiliar terms you are using in the research. You have to mention the terms and its meaning. Literature cited. Here in the literature, some places I refer some text. Generally, I refer some text. List of references cited in the text. I have to use literature cited. Bibliography means I use for literature cited in the text. So I use as a bibliography from the books and articles. People usually they get a doubt, ma'am, where to mention literature cited or bibliography. Say literature cited, you have to mention as a reference. Bibliography, I generally refer some common books or article I use as a bibliography. I hope you are all clear the difference between literature cited and bibliography. Literature cited, generally it comes under reference. Bibliography, generally you are referring some books and articles. No, that you can write as a bibliography. Second part is writing up of the report. Writing up of the report, style, section, subsection, heading, subheading, notes, footnotes. It has several types. Styles being concise, it must be direct, specific. Keep your sentence short. Break text in. Sometimes you use a big paragraph. Break text into readable units. Even in the exam, no, students are writing in a big paragraph. Make it in a break. You break into readable units. So that is a basic style. Section and subsection, chapter 4, and it also having analysis and interpretation. Again it have demographic variables analysis. So section and it has subsection. Heading and subheading, you may have 3 or 4 subdivision. Main heading, another heading you can keep as center, another heading you can keep as a side heading. Main heading, next is another center heading, next is side heading. Notes and footnotes, ma'am, both are same? No, ma'am, no. Notes means end of the chapter. Footnotes means bottom page. And quotation means when, where, how I am using this. I have to mention when, where, how. This is quotations. Next is the reference, tables and figure. I hope you understand reference. That means literature cited. Okay. So third component is documentation of the report. It's a very simple stage. It has only one point. Good report must be properly documented. In terms of appendix and bibliography, avoid repetition. Sometimes we people repeat the same points. Avoid repetition. These are the stages of report writing. Yes, dear students, there are 3 basic stages of report writing. Number 1, organization of the report, writing up of the report, documentation of the report. Quite big topic is organization. It is a overall everything covered. Documentation means only avoiding repetition. It's a very simple concept. Just go through the stages of report writing. It is otherwise called layout of research report. Next, we'll see how to write bibliography. It's a sample I would like to mention here, because students they commit mistakes while they are preparing projects. How to write bibliography? If they are referring books, you have to mention author name, comma, In quotation, you have to write book name. Book name must be in italics, and the place and publisher name and year. This is the way you have to write bibliography. Article. If I am referring some article, no, author name, title, always title in italic. Then place, ISBN number, date, year and page number. This is the way you have to write your bibliography. Always use italics in the title. Okay. Let's see on final proof. Before taking a print, you have to see final proof many times. First one is whether you all included all additional constituents, all essential constituents and also additional constituents. These are the preliminaries included. Okay. The next one is final editing and revised completed report. Are you in a track? All the questions are included. All the questions are analyzed. All the sections are included. Just you are doing a small final check. Does the report justify your time and energy? You are spending 3 months or 3 years for preparing report. Is it justify your time and energy? If yes, your report is ready for final proofreading. Take it up a final reading with the fresher outlook. Look, again you understand the meaning of the sentence. Take it up for final reading with the fresher outlook. Data should be checked, computation, table, chart, everything should be checked. Finishing touches and correct all grammatic error. Is there any mistake in any places, any spelling mistake or word choice or sentence structure? Just do a small check. Rewrite and polish your rough draft. Now prepare bibliography. So here I would like to say there is no limit to perfection. There is no limit to perfection. This is the way you can do a small final proof of your entire report. The next slide will discuss about the basic size, design which is required for a report. You have to take a printout in A4 sheet. As all know that an ink should be black, left margin and right margin. Left margin 1.5 inches because of the binding space, no, we required some more inches. So top and bottom commonly it is 1 inch. Ma'am, where to keep page number? Students get doubt. Usually you have to keep page number bottom centered. Double space between paragraph, only one side of the page should be used. 1.5 line spacing, always use Times New Roman. And font size 12, 14, 16s are accepted. So this is a basic requirement for preparing research report. The next topic is about precautions in report writing. Before keeping a research report final, no, you have to keep some precautions. It should not be too long. Ma'am, shall we keep 200 pages as a research report? Shall we keep 500 pages? It should not be too long. You should not use any jargons, any difficult words. For easy to understand, tables and charts are necessary. Free from grammatical error. The purpose is it must solve some problem. I said no in the first video. It benefit to the society. It solves some intellectual problem. It must be attractive, neat, and it must have objective analysis and bibliography. These are the basic things are required. These are the precautions while writing report. I hope you all understand the precautions of report writing. Shall we go a small recap of entire session? Clarity, coherence, writing correctly, style to the reader's taste, readability, properly arranging, effective arrangement are the essentials. 3 basic types of report: research report, popular report, report for the administrator, and another one is technical report. Stages of report is broadly classified into 3: organization, writing up of the report, and documentations. Just go through in depth. You listen the video and follow precautions and final proof. Let me conclude this session by doing small recap. There are 5 basic things are necessary: clarity and coherence, writing correctly, style to the reader's taste, readability, effective arrangement. There are three basic types of report: popular report, report for the administrator, and technical report. Three stages of report: organization, writing up of the report, and documentation. All the researchers should follow precautionary measures and do some final proof. I hope you all understand how the research report, how to prepare research report. On this note, I end this session. Thank you for watching.